So these folks have been through the ringer. They've gone to a real estate professional and said, I'd like to list my house for sale. You are a professional. Please handle this for me. And that process has failed. Okay, so they have done the standard process by which folks in America sell their houses, and it didn't work, which leaves an amazing opportunity for an investor like yourself to come in with a different kind of offer. All right, welcome back to Sub 2 Investor. My name is Hans, and in this episode, I'll be talking about how to get subject to deals from the Expired MLS list. This happens to be my favorite list, so stay tuned to find out how to pull this list and market to it to get amazing Sub 2 deals. Now, this is part of my How to Sub 2 series, a series in which I will be showing you the strategies and tactics I use to obtain and execute creative finance deals. I also have a real Sub 2 breakdown series in which I am overviewing actual Sub 2 deals I've closed to show you the ins and outs of those deals. So if you're interested in that playlist, check it out. But this is a separate series, and so I'm excited to get rolling on this one. No better way than to start with, again, my favorite way to get subject to deals, which is with the Expired MLS list. Now, you have to stay tuned to the end of this video to make sure that you pull this list and filter it in a very particular way for it to be effective. But I will be showing you how exactly I pull this list and use it for marketing. Now, it's important to clear up in your mind that there is a distinction between marketing sources and marketing channels. Marketing sources are the source from which you're going to obtain a list or get a deal. So it might be from an Expired MLS list, it might be from a pre-foreclosure list, it might be from an absentee out-of-state owner list, it might be from a field inspector, it might be from other referrals. Those are all marketing sources. Marketing channels are the means by which you take that list and market it. So it might be by means of sending direct mail, by cold calling, by using pay-per-click or Google Ads. So you need to know the difference between marketing sources and marketing channels, because it'll be important to keep track in your own marketing which marketing sources are most effective and which marketing channels are most effective for you and in your particular market. There are about 4 reasons why Expired MLS listings are my favorite marketing source for subject to deals. The first reason is that these folks have actually raised their hands and have said, I would like to sell my house. Now, with other types of lists, sometimes we just don't know if these property owners are motivated to sell at all or if they want to sell at all. If you pull an absentee owner list, it's just uncertain whether some of those owners are wanting to sell. Whereas with an Expired MLS list, we know for certain that these property owners did want to sell, at least when they listed their house for sale on the market. So number 1, they've raised their hand and said, I'd like to sell my house. Number 2 reason why I like this list, and this might be the most significant reason, is that they've been through the ringer of being on the market. Now, if you've never sold your own primary residence on the market before, this might be a little bit difficult to grasp, but having sold a primary residence on the market before, I know what it's like being on the market. It is extraordinarily stressful and anxiety provoking. You have to deal with egotistical, in some cases, real estate agents who might overpromise and underdeliver. You have to deal with home inspections, which if you're not used to doing that thing routinely, can be very terrifying when you get that report back and look at the list of 150 things that are wrong with your house. Also with appraisals, right? We're kind of subjecting ourselves to the subjective opinion of an appraiser for what our house's value is, and the lender's banking on that appraisal being accurate in order to give the loan to the buyer, and this can come back and ruin deals if it doesn't come through. Walkthroughs of properties, a lot of folks are very private and they don't like people coming through their houses, or they don't like having having to vacate on the weekends for open houses or for other showings. Days on market, as those tick up and a house doesn't sell, this is just one of the most stressful things about being on market. Will my house ever sell? Problems with title. We get the title report back. There's a large sewer lien or a tax lien or mechanics lien. There are blemishes with title occasionally, and that can absolutely destroy a deal. So these folks have been through the ringer. They've gone to a real estate professional and said, I'd like to list my house for sale. You are a professional. Please handle this for me. And that process has failed. Okay, so they have done the standard process by which folks in America sell their houses, and it didn't work, which leaves an amazing opportunity for an investor like yourself to come in with a different kind of offer. You're not an agent coming in and asking them to sign another listing agreement with you. You are a buyer coming in who would like to actually buy that property. Reason number 3 is that really, in light of the second reason I just said, it's easy to pitch subject to a homeowner. You don't have to explain to them that they might have a difficult time selling their house on the market. They've already been through it and they know that. So the pitch to a subject to offer, it's quite natural, and in my opinion, it's the most natural pitch. If you're just calling somebody out of the blue who has never listed their home on the market for sale, a subject to offer could come off kind of abrupt and rub somebody a little bit more the wrong way. Now, number 4, this is totally subjective to me, but about 30% of all the real estate deals I've ever done have come from the expired MLS list. And about 40% of all my creative finance deals have come from the expired MLS list. For me, this list has been the most effective. If you were to just drop me off in some random city and said, okay, go do subject to deals, the first thing I would do, go pull an expired MLS list and market to that thing incessantly. I guarantee you I would get a subject to deal under contract within a matter of days. Now, let's move on to another topic. So when you're going to pull this list, it's very important that you get quality data, because I know there are services out there, PropStream, Privy, Property Radar, Batch Leads. I can't speak to the quality of their data, but I do know that it's not the MLS. It's very important to understand the MLS, it's local in every single real estate market, and all of that data is curated. I think it's CoreLogic who curates the data, but that data is highly prized and protected by the National Association of Realtors. They don't want that data getting in the hands of anyone but real estate brokers and folks who are paying dues and fees to be a part of the club. Even though you might find some service that says they can give you the expired MLS list, it's not going to be the same as getting the list from the MLS itself. It's just not, okay? And I've been on multiple different softwares and I have split tested the data, and it's never 100% accurate. There's usually at least a 10 to 20% error rate if you pull a comparable list or if you get an expired list from something other than the actual MLS. So get quality data. In my opinion, you need to find somebody who has access to the MLS, and you need to get that list, the expired MLS list, from that person, okay? Now, this might mean you have to go get your real estate license or have your wife go get her real estate license, or your husband or whomever. I actually had my wife get her real estate license so that I could have access to the MLS. In my opinion, being a professional means you need professional tools. And the only way, I know it's not the answer you want to hear, but you got to have access to your local MLS if you want to be a serious player in your local real estate market. I don't know how else to say it. Now, these other softwares, they can get you by to a degree, but you will get frustrated with them. They will not be 100% accurate all the time, and that will put you at a disadvantage occasionally, and you'll be beating your head against the wall wishing that you had better access to data. So you either have to go get your license or have somebody you know get your license, or you can cozy up to some local real estate agents and see if they'll at least set you up on a auto emailer every single day. You can get the expired listings sent to your email address. Now, they're going to have to renew that periodically, that auto emailer, especially if you're not checking it every day. But they can set you up on these lists. You're also going to, in my opinion, want access to the MLS just to be able to run comps. Very, very crucial to run comps from the MLS, in my opinion, if accuracy of property values is important to you. If I didn't have a wife who gave me access to the MLS, then I would go to a realtor who I have a relationship with and offer to, give them a nice size gift card to their favorite restaurant or whatever it was. Like, I'm talking, I would pay $500, $1,000, $1,500 annually, which is probably what it's going to take to cover their MLS costs, because they have to pay for the MLS service. I would basically offer to pay their dues without really directly offering to pay their dues, because I don't think that they would think that that was in line with the National Association of Realtors bylaws or whatever. I don't really care. The point is, get access to MLS. Okay, do whatever it takes. And if you have to pay a little bit, it's totally, totally worth it. Let me get off my hobby horse on having MLS data and actually talk about how I pull this list. So let me show you. There's a lot to cover on this topic, so I'm not going to get to everything clearly, but you need to be pulling this list at least once a week, once every couple weeks, and marketing to this list monthly. This is such an important list. Maybe market to this list more than that. Okay, go door knock these people, cold call them, do whatever it takes ethically, legally to go talk to these people. But here's what you're going to do. If you do have MLS access, this is going to be a little bit boring if you don't, or if you already know this, but just bear with me for a second. All right, actually, so look it over here. Here's a little pro tip. Expired listings aren't always just expired listings. There's actually 3 ways that an MLS listing can be taken off the market. Either it expires, an agent can withdraw a listing from the market, or they can cancel it. You can look into what the differences are between those 3, but it's probably worth, when you're starting out, making sure that you pull all 3 lists. Most people don't know this, but there's expireds, withdrawn, and canceled listings. If I only did expireds, we would not get all the deals we've got, okay? Some of those have come from withdrawn and canceled. I'm just going to go back like the last week on expireds. I'll go back the last week on withdrawn, and I'll go back the last week on canceled. All right. Now what I'm going to do over here is I'm not going to filter. Sometimes I'll filter by age, 1 year plus, because I don't want new construction coming up. And I'll go to results. Change it to 50 per page. We have approximately 3 pages worth. My goodness. So here is the coveted expired list, the first page thereof. And I'm just going to just run 1 page of this for the sake of this video. I'm going to put it into an Excel sheet. I'm just going to copy paste. This is how I do it. I'm not claiming that this is the best way to do it. There might be a faster way to do it. I'm sure there is. All right, then I'm just going to copy paste this into my Excel sheet and make sure that I have address, city, state, zip, and I'll show you what I do here. Okay, so I got my list. Gonna name it as Expired MLS. September 20th, 23. All right, so I got my list here, approximately 50 entries here. These are all expired. Now what I'm going to do, you can use the software of your choice, but I'm going to use PropStream, and I'm going to upload this into PropStream and show you what I do from there. Now that I'm in PropStream, I'm going to import this list, create a new marketing list, expired MLS, September 20th, 2023. And again, I use PropStream to do this, but you can do this using other property softwares. The reason that I use PropStream is because I can sort by equity, and then I can send postcards within PropStream, which is actually what I do. So let's come to the list here. Here it is, expired MLS, September 20, 2023, and I got 47 entries in here. You know, there's some things that I do in PropStream. I'm not going to go through the whole thing right here. The important thing is that this is what I suggest you do, but you do you. If you want to market to the whole list, market to the whole list. PropStream isn't totally accurate on the equity position of all these properties, but we're playing a game of statistics, so we just need most of them to be accurate. I'm going to scroll over to estimated loan to value, and each postcard we send, I'll show you how to do that in another video, is approximately 45 cents. And so if I'm sending postcards to properties that are 50% loan to value, like this one right here, 51%, The chances of somebody doing a sub 2 with 51% is a lot lower than somebody who has zero equity, right? So I'm actually going to sort for low equity, and there's multiple ways to do it in PropStream, but here's one way. You take your estimated loan to value and you basically filter greater than, I like to do like 60, 65%. Let's just go down to 60 because PropStream isn't accurate. It's just an estimate. You want to get the ones that are on the cusp, right? So these are all the properties in the expired list that I just pulled that have a loan to value of 60% or higher. Now this one at the bottom has some crazy loan on it, which is 18,000% loan to value. That's probably an LLC. So actually I usually delete LLCs from my list. So I will remove those. We are down to only 6 out of this list of 50. And these are the properties that out of that list of 50, I would market to for a subject to deal. Look at this, 64% loan to value. That's kind of lowish, but look at this one, 90% loan to value, 3140 Russell Boulevard, a remaining loan balance of 378 and an estimated value of 419. Guys, if this is accurate, that is a low equity deal. This house expired on the market and it's got 10%, which in reality with market closing costs on average about 8%, there's 2% equity in here. And now in this market, which is trending towards a buyer's market with seller concessions, there's no equity. So this house right here, 3140 Russell Boulevard, I go door knock that house, or I'd go send a postcard, or I'd send a letter, or I'd pick up the phone and I'd cold call that person. That's what I would do, and I would do that on all 6 of these properties. But keep in mind, this is a list of 50. There was actually about 150 or so results, so maybe I get like 18 low equity expired listings. Now keep in mind, these are withdrawn, canceled, and expired listings, and I sort for low equity, and I sort for 60% loan to value, which is another way of saying 40% or less equity. All right, guys, so that is how you pull the expired MLS list. There's really nothing special to it. You just need to know a few key facts and tips to do it effectively, and you will land subject to deals. I should mention that this is one of the most competitive lists out there, that along with the pre-foreclosure list. These sellers are getting bombarded by real estate agents who are going to be reaching out to them to tell them that their former agent sucked and that they could do a better job listing their home and actually get their house sold. So you better reach out to these people quickly, and you better distinguish yourself from them. Let them know you're not a real estate agent. Let them know, yes, you are a cash buyer, but also you might have an alternative offer to help them get their house sold. I'll go into all of this, how to speak to these individuals, these homeowners, in subsequent episodes, but hopefully this video was enlightening, inspirational, motivational, so that you can get out there, start marketing for subject to deals and taking these things down yourself. If you found this content helpful, please let me know by liking, subscribing, and leave a comment below. If there's anything I left out that I didn't talk about that you wish I would have, I'd like to know so that I can address these topics in subsequent episodes. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, stay creative. Peace.